Morning Sunshines, it's Pokemon news time. Pokemon Worlds ended with its usual final ceremony and gave us a whole bunch of new information for the games. The first of which is this Pokemon Legends ZA 1v1v1v1 Battle Royale mode, in which you have 3 minutes to kill as many Pokemon as you can. So this looks really fun in a sense. This is going to be a nice little PvP versus mode that you'll have, because of course I believe Pokemon Legends Arceus didn't have any PvP, so this one will, by the looks of it. These are all going to be human players, of course, and the goal, as you can see you can even guess from the screen, is very simplistic, right? You are able to move around, but the goal is to kill as many Pokemon, or faint as many Pokemon as you can, more than everybody else, of course. And here you can see the points coming. And it looks like what counts is the final hit, which is going to leave a lot of people upset in many instances of these games, because people are going to tactfully be able to just secure those last hits and whatnot. Mega evolutions are included. You are not knocked out when you faint. You can come back in, etc., etc. So like it looks pretty fun. 3 minutes battle royale, so it's not too long, not too bulky, not really a major time commitment like the mainline battles are. Okay, because those can sometimes be really long, and you can just see all the action here. You of course can find mega energy on the ground, as you can see these guys picking up here, and mega evolve. And yes, your moves have AoE, as you can see Dragonite here knocking all 3 out with the last hits and securing those points, which is just grizzly nasty. So this is really cool, really nice little addition that they just revealed today. Nice PvP mode for us to just show off our strong Pokemon. On top of that, this game, Pokemon Legends ZA, is also going to have ranked battles and private battles too. That's pretty spicy. I'm looking forward to that. That's a game, of course, is out. It's 16th of October, as everyone already knows. Moving on to the next announcement, Pokemon Champions, which is coming next year, as you all also already know. Massive announcement on this, by the way. This is going to be replacing the mainline games for future world championships for Pokemon, which is bonkers. So this is really going all in on this game. It's going to be a major thing. It's not just something you just ignore if you are a Pokemon fan, especially active in the competitive scene, and it's just showcasing us some battles here. Now, they also updated us with some important information and mechanics and whatnot, which are probably going to carry over to Gen 10. It seems most likely that is going to be the case, considering this game is coming out next year, and I'm also kind of expecting Gen 10 to come out next year as well. Alright, that's kind of important information here. So we'll get to that information, but as you can see here, it is the Pokemon Worlds collaboration. That's what it looks like. It's not a collaboration, but yes, they're getting rid of mainline games. They're replacing those mainline games for World Championships and probably some other competitions with Pokemon Champions. Pokemon Champions has a lot of good going on. This is the Pokemon Champions website right here, and there's a lot of important things that just need to be known about this game. They obviously have it well set up so that there's nothing that's going to be way too ridiculous or OP that's just going to break the game and just destroy what you know, what's familiar for you in competitive Pokemon. First of all, it is going to be cross-platform. It has to be. Anything of this scale, which they feel like is going to be their main go-to for official competitions and stuff, has to be cross-platform. You just cannot have these kind of limitations. You will, of course, be able to bring Pokemon from Pokemon Home into the game as well, and that means the Pokemon that I do in my giveaways are also going to all still be usable. I have a lot of 6 IVs going all the time, and they're all purely legal as well, so those will all be absolutely acceptable and legal for Pokemon Champions too, and I will personally be using them myself. It also mentions it here, Pokemon Champions will be the VGC software used for Worlds 2026, so literally starting the next year. They are also going to have the purchase system for Pokemon in the game, so if there's something you don't have or you don't get from my giveaway, and obviously not everybody uses my giveaway, so people will be using this, you'll be able to just get the Pokemon that you want from there with the currency that they have in the game, which you'll likely be able to purchase and earn free to play as well, but you'll be able to use that currency and some other things to manipulate your Pokemon's stats, nature, etc. and stuff like that too, sort of similar to Pokemon Showdown. This goes way back to ancient prehistoric leaks from quite a while ago, explaining to us that there's going to be a new mechanic that copies Showdown's system of changing Pokemon in future titles. And that was very unspecific, right? That was just a really old leak from a long time ago, and that is where it is. Obviously, it's in Pokemon Champions. We now can confirm that. But obviously, this is something that was revealed to us before. This isn't new information as far as I can remember. We did get revealed some of this before. So here you can see how it kind of works. You can trial it, and then you can finally get permanent recruitment of those Pokemon. So yes, they will be permanent on your team if you need to get them. Training Pokemon as well, like we were just explaining. You can use VP to hone your Pokemon's attack, defense, and other stats, etc., alter abilities and moves, and so on. So it looks like it's very flexible. It's just basically Pokemon Showdown's team builder made clean and nice and colorful. The 3 different battle modes that you will have access to is the ranked battles, casual battles, and private battles, which is pretty much the same as what you'd expect from your usual game as well, okay? This is not surprising, seems pretty standard, and it is not new either. But what's important to note is they seem to do, in singles at least, carry over their 3 Pokemon limit for ranked battles, which I'm not a fan of. I think they could have just sped things up instead, so you can have your 6th team. But I'm not a fan of this 3 Pokemon out of 6. You know, obviously for VGC you pick 4 Pokemon out of your 6. It's just so limiting. I don't know. I mean, you can obviously in private battles or maybe casual battles too be able to use the full 6, but the games are designed in such a way that takes up so much time, and that's obviously not the case in Pokemon Showdown, for example. But for me, Pokemon is using your 6-man team. I don't know, just have it being limited to 3 just doesn't feel right to me. It also confirms that you can earn VP by winning your matches or just playing your matches, so it depends on the outcome. That's pretty nice. That's going to be the free-to-play version on getting it, but I'm kind of suspecting you'll be able to pay to win too. It does say VP cannot be directly purchased, but something else might be. So just stay tuned, you know how these mobile games go. Also, people might have been wondering about the gimmick, and this is important news because people would be fantasizing about how this game would work. Are you going to be able to pit a Dynamax Pokemon against a Mega Pokemon and then have another Pokemon terrestrialized somewhere? No. There's going to be rules for your seasons, okay? And as it says here, the first set of rules for ranked battles is going to be using Megas. So you're going to be limited to 1 gimmick a time per season or per whatever the hell set they have, okay? So that's good. I think it's going to not bust the game up, may break it too much. So in the first wave of ranked battles, we'll only be able to use the Mega gimmick, which makes sense because this is going to be coinciding with on what was assumed to be the ongoing shelf life of Pokemon Legends ZA. Alright, so we will be having Megas all over the place, and there'll be new Megas to play with too. And of course, they are introducing us the Mega Dragonite in this game, which would be odd if it wasn't there, okay? Obviously, because the game is coming out in October, so a new Mega to be included already. And the mechanic that they revealed to us, the Omni Ring, a battle essential, which, as you can see from the glyphs on it, has Z moves, has Megas, and presumably terrestrial, and every gimmick that you'd even imagine on there. It's a one and all kind of doozy. All right, the protagonist of this title wear a device called an Omni Ring, an item necessary for Mega Evolution. It's similar to the Mega Rings in the Pokemon video game series. Other special features may be added to the Omni Ring in the future. So this looks like their go-to for all of the gimmicks, including any future gimmicks that they might be adding to the game. And this may be what our protagonist will have in Gen 10, okay? So they might do something interesting with that in Gen 10, considering it's going to be a good tie-in with how the Pokemon Champions is going to work. You may very well have a Gen 10 where you'll also have all of the gimmicks involved, and maybe a new gimmick too, which is something that they might add to the Omni Ring for Champions in the future. So that's kind of cool. And like I said, I'm expecting Gen 10 to be released next year around the usual time. So that's something to look out for next year when they start announcing it. We'll see. And finally, of course, the announcement, which they already kind of teased in a picture above, Mega Dragonite is coming to Champions as expected. And to finish off our little news show here, an official pronunciation of Rayquaza. Well, it's actually Rayquaza, okay? There we go. That settles the debate after everyone, including myself, have been saying it wrong forever. And I'm sure this video now, because I said that, is going to get absolutely bombarded with comments from people saying, oh, they always said it correctly. And I bet they're lying. Alright, well, thanks very much for watching this video. I'll see you guys around in the next. Feel free to check out my giveaways. I'm currently giving out the World's in-person event mystery gift that you would have to be there at the venue for to get. That's currently my giveaways until next Sunday, or if you're premium, it's permanent, so you can get it anytime you want. Go check that video out if you want to get your hands on that juice, and I'll see you around the video. Have a good one. Bye.